like the idea of it. So the beech hedge, so it's a great feature of this garden. And beech, of course, they're deciduous, they lose their leaves in autumn, but beech hedges don't. I mean, they will lose their leaves, they turn a lovely golden brown, and they hang on to them, so they're good value as a hedge. And it's only when the new growth comes in that they start shedding their leaves. When I first came to Edinburgh, which was a very long time ago, you still saw people up ladders clipping them by hand, but now they have a cherry picker. It's a pretty park. It's also a garden of some major botanical research, and one of the things that are going on just now is trying to protect species on the edge of survival in Scotland. Now, you probably got this in Norway because it's doing all right in Scandinavia, but this Scotland must have been the lowest, the furthest south bit of its range, this alpine blue sow thistle, because it was under huge attack by sheep and deer, so I found it very tasty. So the proof you can actually do it, you'll get a lovely spray, cooling rain. Let's move on a bit what you're getting. So we can add it, we can do here a tree, a consultation at the garden. A lot of these will have been planted by the students here. Lots of beans growing here, and there's just a calendula, the marigolds, all around. They keep off the bees, not the bees, the flies. Well, that's what they say. It never worked for me, but
we've had tremendously bad backfire on our
so have you?
This year. And I'm spraying if you don't like doing it. So we'll have to try marigolds.
Yeah, okay,
but it's an old system of protecting them. The other thing you can do is put covers over them when they're growing, put nets over them. So also showing you all the ways that you can grow fruit. Now we don't have commercial orchards in Scotland, we're too far north, it's not. But there are a lot of trees that are heritage trees that have been grown in Scotland for hundreds of years, and it's just different ways to show you how they can be pruned or how they can be not displayed but grown. So the thing is to try and extend as much as possible the opportunities for these little branchlets to come off with the fruit. So lovely. It's lovely here in the spring when everything's in flower. No, quite a common garden flower, this, but we call it lamb's lugs, lamb's ears, lamb's lugs, because the leaves are really, really soft and furry, and it's a way of hanging on to moisture. Lots of thyme going along here, so all very good for encouraging pollination.
Are they supported into this
yes,
metal bar
yes.
while it's growing?
Yes,
So that's the reason it's growing.
Yes. You take out the leading stem. I'm not an authority in this, but you take out the leading stem and then you just train it to go along, and then it gets encouraged to do it. And there are other ways, there are different ways of growing trees and growing fruit. So up here, they've got them on cordons up here, they've got the spadier ones, all sorts of things, different ways of growing them. It's
easier to collect in autumn.
Well, it is, and also it's a nice way of making a sort of boundary to your garden. The apple, these are all apple trees up the side here, and they're all heritage apple trees, so the apple species, varieties of apple that have been grown in Scotland for hundreds of years and settled in. The oldest ones are nearest to house, and younger ones as you go further away, and some of them have really funny names, so, because a lot of them would be local, and there's one, I can't identify it, but there's one called the Bloody Ploughman. The Bloody Ploughman, and it's because there's this terrible legend that this bad ploughman murdered his girlfriend and buried her, and the apple tree grew where she was buried, but the flesh has red streaks in it to point out this is where the poor girl had been buried. And oh, well, she's 3 now, but when my youngest girl had her first baby, and they were establishing a garden, and her dad's really keen on trees, and so I said, well, how about, Nick, it'd be nice if we got a tree for Chloe, wouldn't it? So I said, you choose a nice tree for Chloe, and that would be my kind of present to her, birthday arrival present. So he did, and it was a really lovely, healthy specimen. I said, what? Had several storms and discovered that they were really in danger, and so a huge big project is on to get them all restored, which is going ahead pretty well. The 2 Victorian glasshouses are moving on pretty well. In fact, they're hoping they might, the whole site of them all from way back, and well, I don't know if they were uniquely to Australia at that point, or even before the continent started breaking up. Anyway, incredibly ancient. And then, not that long ago, maybe about 30 years ago, possibly less, some botanists found a little stand of these in a deep ravine in the Blue Mountains near Sydney. Hang on a minute, that looks like what we've got. There's many different species, and the snails and slugs don't keep some. My garden is being taken over by these and by lavender. We don't eat that either. I've got
we put nematodes down there, but really well.
Would it work? Well, do you know, I've not had time to, I mean, I haven't got a big garden, but I love gardens, and I haven't had time to get to grips with it, you see. This is the house I was telling you about. It was built in the 1780s, I think, and it was a law family of lawyers who lived here, but eventually they died out and then and passed into the hands of the city of Edinburgh, who then gave it to Botanic. And it's thanks to that you don't pay an entrance fee. All the other ones you pay an entrance fee to come and visit the Royal Botanic Gardens, which coming here for free, which is a wonderful thing, a wonderful legacy. There's a lady. Flower arrangements basically here just about a couple of weeks ago, and that's the grass was attached to the cover. They do lots of events here, and at Christmas time they have a wonderful light show. They've done that for several years now, and have things projected onto the building, and wonderful, really lovely, I mean really lovely light show. We're in December. A famous one who was called George Forrest, and if you see labels on the trees and it's some sort of plant such and such, its Latin name, and it says Forestii and it's spelt with 2 R's. A sport, if you like, but people in probably in the 19th century, were so taken by it that they kind of encouraged it to grow and became a great feature. If you were quite wealthy. And it has big yellow flowers in the spring, which is very nice. But I imagine it doesn't smell very nice. It's because we're having an argument. We're having an argument earlier in the morning. So sometimes you get a kingfisher, which is fantastic. So exciting. Well, here we are. That's a recent one. And here's something else green. Well, here's a little one. Look. It's a bit draggled. It's not so fluffy. It's got red. They don't have webbed feet. They've got sort of webbed feet. They've got yellow legs. It's quite extraordinary. Well, these are moorhen. They're having territorial fights, I think, so seeing off the other ones. So, you know kingfisher birds, they're amazing. They've got really bright blue backs and lovely chestnut red breasts, and they're small, but they're terribly useful, and they fish. They sit on branches, and when you see a fish in the water, they go straight in. And we sometimes get one here, sitting on one of the branches up there. If you come round the corner, and everybody's standing stock still, staring at the tree, and there's a kingfish. Oh, look, little babies down here. Lots of that things. Yeah, you think we've got 50, but we do. Actually, it doesn't help with the creatures that live under the stones and things, because they have to, the trickle of water is just beginning, and the two big toes tell you over all the stones and what was already the riverbed, and this is what was underneath them. So I could truly say you never get a chance, but if people who get further down, have some success. So mountain street, and this conditions. The whole gardens have been in wet conditions this year. We've had such a lot of rain. But that's been good for the plants, because the first year of COVID, in 2020, we had this wonderful spring and marvellous weather, but it was very dry. And the subsequent two springs have been really unusually dry. So they could do with a lot of rain, just to soak everything. So they start telling us we can't water our gardens, we'll be a bit upset. Although you're not supposed to water your garden. I was at a course here on Saturday about gardening, and it was a birthday present, not for me, a birthday present from me to a friend that the roof came along. And in fact, one of my garden gurus long ago was a lady who was one of the first sort of organic gardens in Edinburgh, and she never watered things. You water when you first plant them, and then that's it, because if you keep watering them, the root. We have red squirrels like you will have. You won't have grey squirrels. We've got red squirrels, which are smaller, and there's one running up the tree. And some idiot saw them in Central Park in 1895 or something, and thought they looked very cute, and brought them back to his estate down somewhere in Buckingham, near Tring, I think it was. And because the squirrels thought, yay, and they're much more powerful and strong and eat everything, but the red squirrels are a bit trickier. And they also carry a disease called squirrel pox. So the poor red squirrels are being decimated, and now the poor grey squirrels, I think it's sort of, it's not their fault, this thing here, but they're kind of, imagine they're lying, look at this, they're trying to not let them get further north. In the winter, and then up it comes again every year. So the plan is now, they're actually going to try and take this out here, because what they've got more and more are native species. So this here with all the little fluffy seed heads is water even, but it's, I don't know if you have geum, G-E-U-M, lovely, you've got beautiful colours, and the orange ones are terribly popular, aren't they? Anyway, geum. So that's the origins of the geums here. And then this plant here, which you find all over, this here
flat. So.
This allium, and in Edinburgh it's often crocuses, because of course the autumn crocuses come up, the ruby thorn, they don't have leaves, they just come up with single flowers in the meadows. But of course they have to have leaves, they have to photosynthesize, so the next year they come up with these really thick bunches of leaves that look like wild garlic, that's what I thought.